Welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are going over my April reading wrap-up. Another month has gone by. Another month where we read books. Another month that did I stick to my TBR? No, I did not. But we got quite a few of them off of my TBR from April. This month I read 8 books and my average rating was 3.47, and the total amount of pages that I read were 3,411 pages. Wow. There were quite a few new releases that I wanted to get to, and 2 of my most anticipated came out this month. Let's just start, I guess, ? It's just so gloomy out. Ugh. It's supposed to be so sunny the first week in May, so I'm really excited. So hopefully when you're watching this and this is uploaded, it is the start of a gorgeous, gorgeous week. I can't wait. I just want to be outside, playing, having a good time, reading outside, doing outside activities. But yeah, for right now it's really gloomy. I also tried to make myself a brown sugar black tea latte, and it was gross. It was super watery. For real now, let's get into what I read. The first book that I finished in April was Slapshot by Chelsea Curto. This is the 3rd book in the DC Stars series, and our main characters are Hudson and Madeline. And Hudson is one of the defense men on DC Stars, and he is more of the romantic. He's such a golden retriever. He is so sweet. His favorite hobby when they're traveling on the road is to go to bookstores, buy a romance book, and then check out croissants from other bakeries or cafes around the town that they're staying at. I just think that's so cute and so endearing. Like, he is just a sweetheart. He's just a romantic at heart, and I just really love that. Madeline is a single mother, and she is a chef. She unfortunately lost her job. She was connected with Piper in our previous book somehow, and you'll have to read the second book to find out how, asking her like, hey, do you know of anybody that needs a chef anywhere? So Piper gets her in touch with Hudson, and because Hudson is in desperate need of a private chef. He does not know how to cook. He's not home enough to cook. It's a lot of time. It is a lot of time and effort, and he wants it done for him, and he can afford it because he's an NHL rock star. Yeah, that's how they get in touch, and they hit it off really well. He actually just is like, hey, if you can't find any place to live, feel free to move in here with your daughter because I have so much space and I'm barely ever home. And he has 2 dogs too. It just ended up working out, so it's close proximity as well. This is a little bit more of a slower burn than her previous books, but I would not consider this a slow burn. I would say this is like an average paced burn of romance. He goes out of his way to learn how to connect better with Madeline's daughter, and it was so cute. And she is adorable. Madeline's daughter, and I'm blanking on her name, but is so cute, so endearing, and I love all the interactions. I love the entire team. I think, the team that we see, the players that we see, it's just a big found family, and I absolutely adore them, and they're so cute. I enjoyed it. It was good. I was anticipating a lot for Hudson, and that's on me. It didn't live up to what I thought it was going to be. I just had preconceived notions about what Hudson wanted in a relationship and was needing in a relationship, and Madeline had her expectations too. And again, we had no connection with Madeline. I really loved the turn of their relationship and the style of their relationship. It was just unexpected for Hudson, in my opinion. I am excited to see where the next books go. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I love her as an author. She also lives in Minnesota, so if you didn't check out this vlog or my TikTok short form that I did, she has 2 bakeries here. Abby Jimenez does. Nadia's Cakes. I took myself to the one in Woodbury. She has gluten-sensitive products, which I am gluten-free, and they taste so good. And she had the Say You'll Remember Me cupcake available, so it was like green with cute little frosting, pink and orange frosting. It was adorable. Tasted amazing. I wish I would have gotten more, but at the same time I'm so glad I didn't, because I would have ate them all in one sitting, because I seriously have no self-control with sweets. They were so good. I think about that cupcake often. Love this. I thought it was so fun, and I thought I was saying his name wrong the whole time. It's Xavier. It is Xavier. When I got to the end, I was like, is it Xavier or Xavier? Somebody calls him Z for short. So I was like, oh, it is Xavier. But then in interviews, she was saying it was Xavier. This is dual POV between Xavier and Samantha. Xavier lives in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. He is a vet. He is a grumpy vet, and it's so cute. He's just broody and like looks very standoffish, but he's just a cinnamon roll. And Samantha, she is moving from Minnesota out to California to be with her family. She needs to be out there to help be one of the caretakers for a family member, which if that is something that triggers you or think might trigger you, I would look up the trigger warnings for that. It's a very deeply emotional book. I sobbed a lot during this book. Not everybody did, but I cried a lot. But it was a beautiful mix of rom-com versus hard-hitting emotional side too, which she does so well. They were trying to make this work long distance. I will say Xavier, and Destiny Sidwell said this too, Xavier put a lot more effort into it, but he made it his thing. And he kept saying that. He's like, I want to make this work. I told her not to worry about it, and I will come out and visit her. There was just a lot on his side without much reciprocation, but at the same time, it was difficult for her to reciprocate because of the circumstances. I liked the financial discussions between them too. I think that's really important, and a lot of the times couples miss that. Discussing your finances and what you can and cannot do is super important. I just am like, dude, I hope you're getting Sky Miles or some sort of air miles for this. This book was so beautiful and fun, and I feel like had a great message. There was a lot of pop culture references such as TikTok. People multiple times comparing him to what Rhysand should look like. Destiny Sidwell said this too, that she doesn't necessarily like that in books because it ages the books. I agree. More so on comparing somebody to Rhysand because he's not like an actual person. Like if it would have been compared to like an actor, I think that would have been better. Some things are important in that, but some references, they're not necessary. There's other things that you can do. The TikTok one, I understand because that was part of her job. She works in more social media side of things. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful. I had a good time. I know for a lot of people it fell flat for them, and that's okay. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I finally read this. This is just a very cozy fantasy, like super cozy. Nothing crazy happens. It's a great palate cleanser if you just need something to settle your life down. Something a little heartwarming. And that's exactly what this delivered. This is about Viv, and she is an orc, and she wants to retire from adventuring and slaying monsters, etc. And she wants to open a coffee shop. So it's just her day-to-day of setting up this coffee shop, interactions that she has with others throughout the day, and her found family and her team expanding, and how all of these connections just support her too. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love the cast of characters. I just really enjoyed it. It is a sapphic romance, but it's very minimal because again, we're seeing the day-to-day of her setting up this coffee shop, her getting supplies, her trying to figure out the supplies, figuring out what works on the menu, getting baked goods. Also, the baked goods mentioned in this. I really want to make some cinnamon rolls. Don't go in with any expectations except for a cozy good time. It is a perfect book to just curl up, enjoy a rainy afternoon. It would have been beautiful in the fall too. This would be a really good fall book if you're more of a seasonal mood reader, but I enjoyed it, and it's, springtime. Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. This is the second book in the duology of is it the Crimson Moth? Yes, Crimson Moth, book 2. The first one is Heartless Hunter. So this is the end of it. It is a witch versus witch hunter. Rune is a witch, and this magic system is blood magic, which is so fascinating to me. So inconvenient though. And Gideon is a witch hunter. We were left on a pretty big cliffhanger after the previous book, after Heartless Hunter. So it is continuing on with that. Their trials and tribulations, the push and pull of who they are and what they stand for, governments that are being implemented. The two political systems set up, both were horrible choices. And that was the crux of it, which is the less evil. I think I enjoyed Heartless Hunter more. I thought this was a good wrap up for the series, and it was entertaining. I found myself getting distracted quite a bit, but I did want to read it. It was a good book and a good duology, and I really love a duology or even a trilogy, just really short, sweet. I will say both Rune and Gideon are described many times like being the masterminds and planning and plotting and all of this, and both of them, I was just like, you guys really didn't think anything through, did you? I didn't find really any of their scheming to live up to their reputation. I feel like it wrapped up very quickly, which was a bummer. It just felt like there was a lot of build-up for not a lot at the end. I feel like if you're looking to get into a fantasy series, this is a good one to get into. Again, low commitment, it's a duology, they're both out already. So I would recommend this, especially if you are newer to that genre. One of my book clubs we read I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue, and our main character is Jolene. And Jolene works in this corporate office, corporate vibes, and office drama. I think it's a really good palate cleanser. This book has a really great representation for anxiety, mental health, as well as some substance abuse in the form of alcoholism, going along with that depression anxiety cycle. The cultural, familial pressures and expectations that are put upon Jolene. So she works in this corporate office. She has a lot of anxiety, like social anxiety, so she just sticks to herself and tries not to make any big show of herself. She's very shy. She doesn't want to interact with anybody at work, but she gets the reputation of being a snob. Jolene, in her passive-aggressive ways, will finish off emails and white out the text at the bottom of something passive-aggressive. This one girl in the office is just not great. She is such a brat. Unfortunately, Jolene apparently forgets to white out the text on that email to that girl, and that girl turns her into HR. So she is in trouble with HR and has to go through this course, and there's a new HR manager that she has to go through this course with, and that his name is Cliff. Cliff is just golden retriever sunshine boy, and he's adorable. Him and Jolene to develop a friendship of sorts, and a little bit, a little more attraction towards each other, and etc. But they're trying to like build a friendship. She was supposed to have restrictions on her computer because of the program that she has to go through. But instead of getting restrictions, she ends up getting access to everybody's emails and their DMs. Through that, she sees that layoffs are coming and where she stands. So she starts to kind of branch out and try to make connections and help others too. Her job is her life. She is very down on herself. Like, she is definitely going through it. There were some things that happened in her childhood that have scarred her from making personal connections with people, and there was a lot of bullying that occurred in her life too. Yeah, she ends up taking advantage of this, give herself a leg up, like the hijinks of the office and everything that is going on, and you never really know what people are going through. In the Woods by Tana French, I listened to this on audiobook, and our narrator is Rob Ryan, and he is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but an unaliving detective. He also has some childhood trauma. Him and his two best friends as kids end up going into the woods. This is on the Irish countryside. They end up going into the woods that they played in every day as kids. One day, he's the only one that comes out. He has no memory. His two best friends are never seen again. He comes out with like blood in his shoes, but he has no memory of what occurred. And it has been many years later, and that case is unsolved. You'll get occasional flashes, but nothing, absolutely nothing. So, unsolved case. He changed his name so people would stop like looking for him and asking him questions, especially since he is a detective now. He didn't want any association with his past for that. He and his partner Cassie is phenomenal. I love Cassie. Oh, at the beginning, Rob also states that he is an unreliable narrator, and I agree. Him and Cassie are best friends, and they became best friends from working together. They just like immediately connected. Everybody thinks that they're a couple, and they're like, no, it's like brother and sister. Anyway, so they get asked to help on this case and help solve this case. Same location as where his friends went missing. And so they have to go back and figure out why this like 12-year-old girl who's on her way to going to a dance school, and just like a really bright future, and she showed up like on this altar stone thing unalived. There's construction going in through there, so there's archaeology. It's an archaeology site because of all the history that is surrounding it, but the country is putting a motorway right through that space. So there's been a lot of people protesting about it. It's a little bit more of that political part too. They have to solve this case. He's trying to figure out if these cases are linked, if there is some sort of serial unaliver around. I was so annoyed by his character. He was just a very stereotypical dude in the sense of like all the girls want him, everybody's gonna fall in love with him. And the situation with him and Cassie, it really irked me. Self-important, are you? How self-centered, and just, it really, really bothered me. He was so dumb. He was so dumb, you guys. It just, I'm like, you are such a typical dude. And it drove me nuts. Trying to solve 2 cases. We only end up solving 1. It was so annoying. It was a long audiobook, 17 hours or more. I was interested enough to keep going, but I was so annoyed and just wanting to have it done. But the reason I stuck it out is so that we could solve both cases. I wouldn't really recommend, and this is a series, this is the first book in the series, but I don't think they're connected. I looked at the second one because I'm like, maybe they'll do it. I don't think they're connected at all. I think it's just interconnected standalones. I won't be continuing. My other most anticipated read was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I am so sad that I didn't get the Barnes & Noble exclusive because that cover is beautiful. It's more pink and orange rather than this orange and yellow. Our main characters are Alice, Hayden, and Margaret. We are in the perspective of Alice though, so it's just her narration, but Hayden is the love interest and Margaret is the person that they are interviewing. So Margaret lived a very interesting life. She is an heiress, and I kind of related it to like a Paris Hilton in the 1950s vibes. So she just lived a very unique lifestyle, and she went underground and nobody had heard from her for years and years. And Alice, her father was a really big fan of hers, and Alice was like obsessed with her as a kid. She ends up finding Margaret. Hey, I would love to write a biography for you. And then Hayden shows up, and now all of a sudden they're competing as to who gets to write Margaret's biography. But through that, Alice and Hayden keep ending up running into each other and interacting with each other. Alice is so sunshine. She is so bubbly and just charismatic and friendly and just always in a good mood. She's very optimistic. Hayden, a little bit more pessimistic, kind of like the grumpy alter ego, but he is so cute. He's such a cutie. Romance kind of ensues, but it's in very small, quiet ways and small acts and mannerisms and just spending time with each other. Oh, they're just so cute. I loved that Hayden, everything that he said, he meant. There was no question as to like his feelings. Him being upfront like that, I just very much appreciated, because Alice was just like, oh, well, you mean this, right? And he's like, no, if I meant that, I would have said that, Alice. It's just so cute. I really loved both stories that we got. So we got obviously Alice's point of view and her life circumstances, as well as like the romance with Hayden, as well as Margaret's story too. So we got a little bit of both. And I was so interested in both of them. I love Emily Henry's writing style. I just love her words on paper. It's just lovely. I loved it so much. I was just so happy, and I found myself smiling throughout this whole book just because I was just so happy to be back in a book of hers. My thing with this one is I wish we would have had a longer ending or an epilogue of some sort or something. It could have been longer. It felt a little incomplete with both storylines. Could have gotten a little bit more of Alice and Hayden's romance. We could have got a little bit more of Margaret's story. There was just some things that I wish we would have had more of. It's not the most romance heavy of her books. Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I will be having a vlog that comes out. Oh my gosh, this book was fantastic, and I never want to think about it again. It destroyed me, you guys. I can't pronounce this. I can't put the enunciation where it needs to go. Vienne, and Isabel. And this is taking place in World War II in France. And we're following these two women in different parts on how they are a part of what is going on in the war, of the part of the everyday today. For many women during World War II, as in any other war that has ever occurred, their role in it, and also just like how they never get any recognition for it, which is so annoying. Vienne is a mother who ends up having to belay or like have German soldiers stay with her. She is such a rule follower. She does not want to rock the boat at all, so she just puts her head down and she's like, our government knows what they're doing, blah blah blah, until something happens and she is forced to do other things instead. And then Isabel, she is more of the rebellious sister. She is very outspoken. She will let people know what she's thinking and how against she is for the Germans invading France and for World War II in general, and how she does not think it is right, which it was not. But she also has a lot of insecurities about people leaving her and never loving her. She just wants to feel loved and accepted for who she is. Her storyline, I was very frustrated with her, just very much like act now, think later, or not even think later, just like act without thinking of the consequences of her actions. She started to grow on me and I really liked her storyline. Helping to lead airmen out of France to get back to their country so they can help others, and the passageway that she has to help lead these men is treacherous and horrible and like extremely dangerous. Not only the passageway itself, but how to get there and into safety. Like, she did so much. It was so good. Oh gosh, I feel like I keep thinking about it. I just want to cry. Definitely check up trigger warnings, because there is acts against women, because it is wartime, and unfortunately women are not valued by men, especially of the opposing army. Violence against women, as well as like acts of war and the torture that is ensued, that really like it just, I'm able to read it, but I don't like to read it. But I think it is important to say, in case others are sensitive to that topic. It's World War II. There was so much loss and devastation and just horrible things that occurred. Go in with caution with this, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Well, that's going to do it for the 8 books that I read in April. It was a great reading month. Let me know, what was your favorite read of April that you read? And while you're at it, why don't you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future wrap-ups or TBRs, reading vlogs, etc. And like this video, I would really appreciate it. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!